big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, TheSunamoon Vlogs. And as I had promised that I would be sharing some of these subjects that I mentioned in one of my channeling videos, that I would be talking about certain topics, and one of them would be starseeds. As I go on, I would be reading and referring to Wikipedia, but I would be explaining what it means because a lot of things are there on Wikipedia, but the explanation is not there. I'm going to be giving you certain information. See if you resonate with that information. See if that information intuitively connects with you. Add your own perspective to it, your own experience to it, your own feelings to it. Now, the reason why you're looking for this information is obviously because you already do resonate with this subject, and that's the reason why you are interested in finding out about it. Starseed, also known as starseeds and sometimes indigo children. Well, indigo children are one of the type of starseeds, but they are not another name for starseeds. It's a new age belief and fringe theory. Okay, new age belief, fine. Introduced by Brad Steiger in his 1976 book, God of Aquarius, it argues that certain people originated as extraterrestrials and arrived on Earth through birth or as a walk-in to an existing human body. It is a variant of the belief in alien-human hybrids. And in one of my information videos, I had spoken about walk-ins in detail, especially because it's also connected to the twin flame journey. So there's an existing human body, which is probably someone who's totally given up on life and doesn't want to continue, has no curiosity, and has on many occasions thought of ending their life on their own. But they also understand, they're wise enough to understand that this is something absolutely incorrect. And they don't want to do it, but they've been praying to God to somehow transport them to another dimension without all of this. So they are a very good mediums for walk-in situations. And walk-in situations could also be predestined, that for a certain period of time, so-and-so person would act in a certain way in the twin flame journey towards his divine feminine. And if he is stubborn and if he does not want to work on himself, he's like, no, I'm not gonna move on, I'm not gonna step up. In that case, also a walk-in is probably predestined, looking at the predestined birth characteristics also, which are connected to the time, date, and location of the person's birth. So, interestingly enough, starseeds are also people. How they find out about being a starseed is that they're not able to relate or connect with the world around them. That they feel that people are in general too materialistic and they're not able to cope up with it. Many starseeds actually start to understand themselves better after or around the age of 30, because it is predestined for them for the 30 years of their life to understand human psychology really well. And they go through a series of events that put them through a lot of trouble, trauma, pain. But why does that happen? Why don't they remember who they are and what is the scheme of starseeds on planet Earth? Let's read further into Wikipedia. Steiger describes star people in his 1976 book on contactees as humans who came from a special gene pool linked to visits by extraterrestrials. They claim to come into human life forms and suffer helplessness and total amnesia concerning their identity, origins, and life purposes. So let me explain this part. A lot of starseeds, most human actually, this is why planet Earth is so special, because people do not remember. The soul, as long as it's in a human body, remembers certain type of information about their previous, wherever they come from, previous lives, or for some people, previous dimensions or previous other planets or galaxies they come from. When they are here, they go through an atmosphere of neglect, of total abandonment sometimes, and they go through helplessness. Helplessness is a theme that they see in the adults around them, in the society around them, and they are not helpless as such, but they get programmed into that theme, and then it becomes really difficult for them because they are this daring, courageous people, bold in the face, straightforward, things like that. And then there's this world in opposition that is completely like you can't do this, you can't do that. There are so many labels and limitations, limiting beliefs. And they're not used to that because most of them come from either twin star galaxy or they come from various dimensions where the concept of light is very strong. In their worlds or in their mind or in their thought patterns, they do not understand the word impossible, or they are not scared to experiment. Because of this, they also have to fight, from all of these external elements. And they realize in their journey that if you take care of things externally, like out of you, in front of you, and not go within to solve that problem, or not go within to understand why you're even there in this type of a situation in the first place. Also, this total amnesia concerning their identities, their origin, and life purpose really helps in the entire awakening, because when they ascend, they are basically planted on planet Earth at specific times so that it helps in the Earth's ascension. Because Earth also suffers a lot in dark ages. Earth is a mother, Kundalini is a mother, and when the Earth suffers so much, there is so much darkness around, pollution, war, so many crimes. It really burdens the Earth as well. And as it moves up, as it ascends towards the higher ages, so it's dark ages, bronze age, not ages, dark age, bronze age, and you have the silver age and golden age. However, in India, since I have that background, fortunately, I can say that dark ages are known as Kalyug, then we have Dwapar, then we have Treta, and then we have the Satyug, which is the age of truth, where everybody is honest, authentic, they live in those type of lifestyles which are very inward, not outwardly programmed, and they have a certain sense of personal development, sense of self-growth, as well as doing things for others. That's a lifestyle that we're actually moving to when we get out from the dark ages. So time moves like this. So when we were in the descending ages, that was descending Treta, when Ramayana took place in India, again, during the descending times, the patriarchy gets very wounded, the patriarchy gets impure, and it is the patriarchs or the men or the masculine energy who have the purpose or the mission. At that point in time, it is the feminine energy, the divine feminines. They are supposed to just act as a support, and they're just supposed to suffer along. They could be having curses, or they could have combined the curses with the mission. Then we had the Dwapar age, where again the women were subjected to, they were deprived and they were treated badly, they were insulted, humiliated. Even as mothers, the mother figure also was very helpless. So that was because we were going towards the descending ages. Descending Treta, descending Dwapar, then the dark ages. And dark ages, though they last for a shorter period of time, but they have a lot of effect. And that effect is very heavy. So during the dark ages, mother, because Mother Earth is feminine, and she is feminine, so she is at that time the one who goes through a lot. She takes in a lot. The masculine's role, for the masculine's mission to fulfill. And of course, he also has the amnesia factor, where he doesn't remember his actual identity, actual origin, actual powers. He is in the human form and he doesn't remember the background at all. So he has been given a mission, and being in that those type of social constructs, whatever was presented to them at that time, they still keep their mission as number one, and their own personal family life, especially the beloved, especially the feminine in their life, they have to keep it behind, and then focus and concentrate on whatever they are here to do. So interestingly, during the ascending ages, this changes, and it is the women, the feminine, who gets the mission work, and the masculine is supposed to act as a team player, as a support system, and they obviously go through whatever they have to go through together as a team. There are some people who ask, do starseeds also have twin flames? Yes, starseeds definitely have a twin flame, and they cannot be separated. I hate to say this because I know some of you are like, oh, I don't want to do this. It's too hard, it's too difficult to be, in the twin flame experience altogether. Some people find it very hard and they want out from it. But if you're a star seed, I hate to break it to you that you are also a twin flame, and your twin flame is assigned to you for any and all lives, in any and all lives and in any dimension, because you may not be coming back to earth again and again. So yes, now the interesting part is, the most interesting part of this explanation here is the awakening process claimed to be experienced. So all of these star seeds now, in the current theme of planet Earth, which is towards ascension. Okay, so the Earth is heading towards ascension, and eventually we would be, if we all live to watch it, then there would be 1,000 years of golden age. And since we are in ascending Dwapar, all the things that I said apply, number one. Number two, things will change a lot drastically. Technology will change very fast. People would become more focused to child or children development mostly in the society. They will no longer be concerned about what the matriarchs are thinking or what the patriarchs are thinking. They would be more about how the child feels. They would try to be the best parents or caregivers. In time to come, the lifespan of people will increase a lot. So yes, that's why I said some of us could be alive for the golden age too, despite all the work that we're supposed to do here on planet Earth, which is to help in Earth's ascension. Now there will be a separate vlog where I would be talking about what exactly do people do when they are assisting Earth in ascension. They have gone through pain. Some of the pain is the residual pain of the dark ages. So these people who were probably born in 80s and 90s, even Dolores Cannon has mentioned 3 waves of volunteers on planet Earth, 3 waves of volunteers on planet Earth. And she mentioned that the first wave was actually born during the World War I, II. So it was very hard for them, very, 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 very difficult, because they do not have the same DNA construct. So it wasn't as it is easy for them to actually come to planet Earth. Now, they took on a lot, or our grandparents, some of our ancestors could be starseeds. They took on a lot because the society was going through extreme darkness at that time. Lack of any means of feeling like a free person. Information was very restricted. Even if you write a letter to someone, the letter would reach to another person in so many days. And the worst thing was that people were completely outwardly faced. They were not doing inner work. There was no concept of inner work. That's how dark ages are. People are not connected to themselves within. They have too much on their plates. They are struggling, and then there are so many children. They get married too young, or there are certain types of dynamics that take place in terms of the age groups of people, who are tied up together for the rest of their life. Some of them meet like really young when they themselves are children, and then they are married off at that age. I mean, it used to happen in India. I'm sure it must be happening elsewhere too. Because as Abraham Hicks also says, one of the things I really like about her is she says that location does not matter, vibration matters or frequency matters. So according to her, the address of a person is not where they live. So you could be experiencing a completely different life, living in the same area, same location as compared to another person who's there as well. So the awakening process is very interesting for star seeds. And one more place where the star seeds are explained in a different style, but it is the study of human design, which has mentioned very clearly that human beings are all born differently. It is not to make them feel superior or inferior, and I do want to add this, that being a star seed does not mean you're superior than other people or you're inferior than other people. Because as a star seed, you are here to have a human experience on planet Earth. So you are, though your DNA could be different, and this DNA is given to you because they knew that you would be able to go through all the pain, all the suffering. You would be able to find your way back home. They knew it. So the masters are always around such people. They're always guiding them. Even if they get into really bad company or they have to experience trauma and abuse, it could be even childhood abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse. So many things could have happened to them. A star seed who's say 25 years old. Human beings have this concept of time and space, and human beings have this concept of age. They have this concept of gender. So many limitations are there. So obviously the star seeds have to face a lot of trouble because they are not bounded by these things. And because I was talking about human design, so human design mentions people as projectors, reflectors and manifestors, and they are percentage wise less in number as compared to the generators and manifesting generators on planet Earth. So projectors are 17%, manifestors are 7%, and reflectors are just 1%. And I am very lucky to have met reflectors who are just 1%, and in both genders, male as well as female, and in different stratas of life in different parts of the world. And it was very interesting because I am a 5.2 projector, which is the rarest of the rare projector. I'm sure there could be other 5.2 projectors also. But then linking this with Dolores Cannon's 3 wave of volunteers, she does mention that in the coming ages, because she was quite old and she's already passed over, so she talked about it even as channeling information, because she had been working with a lot of people via past life regression therapies. And interestingly, she met a lot of people who had extraterrestrial experiences, or who had out of body experiences, near death experiences, various types of experiences for which she even spoke to their subconscious. So everybody has a subconscious within, and then we have the identity. So she even spoke to the subconscious of the same person who was, oh my god, the elaboration of information is too good. So she mentioned all of these things, and all of these different types of people who have spoken about star seeds in their own styles. They have mentioned one thing which is common, that they are here for work. And it is my experience also that star seeds, which means projector, generators or reflectors, actually team up really well with generators and even manifesting generators, because they are supposed to cater to a larger group of people, larger number of people. And the divine counterpart, because they are also twin flames for sure, they have already been assigned a divine masculine if they are feminines, and if they are feminines then the vice versa, the masculines. And they meet each other when the awakening is coming to sort of a balance in the matrix reality, which is faced by the divine masculines, and the spiritual reality, which is faced by the divine feminine. So when both of them reach to some kind of a midway, that okay, now from here on we would be really taking on to our roles, the identity, the origin, and a lot of sense of understanding would come to them about how to live on planet Earth, and why are things a certain way, and what are the things they are supposed to ignore, and what are the things they are supposed to work with, and how to coexist with harmony. So there are certain phases that they go through. They could be going through the awakening process, which is the Kundalini rising. For some people it can happen really at a young age, but then it is very slow, and because it needs database from puberty, from adolescence, first childhood is there till the age of 7 of course, and then you get information from your adult life, adulthood, and that much is enough for them, because now they're touching a lot of the audience. Because a lot of people on planet Earth, one more thing is, even if they age or even if they have experience, many people don't learn at all. They are still the same. They are still squirming in agony, hatred, lack of direction, not being in the present moment, taking things too hard for too long, so on and so forth. So they are very unhappy, miserable, and not at rest. They don't feel that peace that they should feel, and then they keep coming here like it's like a cycle of life and death again and again and again and again and again. So yeah, that's something, again, another vlog for it where I'll explain all of this too. I'll try. I may not be perfect. I'm not perfect, in fact. I'm just trying. What happens is that the awakening process claimed to be experienced is described as either a gradual series of realizations over time, you can call them epiphanies, or an abrupt and dramatic awakening of the consciousness. Through the awakening process, they regain memories about their past, origins, and missions. So, in my other channels, from which you would have probably come here, because I don't share a lot of content here, and this is a separate type of a channel. I've been talking about mission work. I keep telling all the divine feminines. I don't say this to the divine masculine because their mission is to become completely authenticated, get a source integration in place, awaken all of their chakras, and because for them, the upper chakras are blocked, which is crown, third eye, throat, heart chakra, it is blocked, and for the feminines, the lower three chakras, and sometimes even the heart chakra is blocked. So they face a lot of problem, and now both of them could be having certain perks of certain type of life because he obviously has the lower three chakras are working, and for her the upper ones are working. So that's why they have this opposite polarity. So why am I talking about them? Because I know a lot of you could be relating with this information. So for all star seeds put together, they all have to go through this rude awakening process, which is predestined, and it was all planned out that this is how it's going to be because their energy is such and their DNA strands are such. The number of their DNA strands are not as same as human beings, human DNA. So the construct is such that they have to go through everything that humans go through in different fields, like in gender, in power, in finance, in love, in sexuality, in beauty, in physicality, in mind, matter, all of the areas they have to have proper information or understanding at least so that, they can tackle life much better later on because they have a mission to do. So if you don't have a mission and you're a divine feminine, then the first thing you need to do is leave everything and find out what's your mission. Because it is through the mission work or through the various missions, if they have a single mission, then one, then if they have couple of missions like 7-8 missions or 5-6 missions, then through those areas and through inner work, through their awakening process, that also is triggered by the twin flame journey because the twin flame journey happens to them when they are ready for all the 7 stages, which I was going to mention, so I'll mention it here now. It starts from the recognition, then it goes on to crisis, testing crisis, then it goes on to the runner chaser dynamic, then from there it is surrender, then there is surrender is a very, 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 very important stage because a lot of people can't let go. So when they learn to let go, they surrender. And surrendering is also a gradual process. So you need to be ready for all of the stages. That's what I meant basically. So after surrender, there is glow, there is radiance, there is harmonization. So these are very important for you all to understand so that you know that whatever is happening to you right now is a part of the plan and there's nothing to be scared about. And I'm actually making this video on request because a lot of people have requested me this information. And to be honest, I love this information. I have been in love with mythology, which should not be called Hindu mythology. It should be called Hindu epics or Hindu Vedic information. Why call it mythology? It's not myth. It's all real. I also felt very resonated with the movie series, the movie franchise called Star Trek, which had this character called Spock. So I think in their time and age, to get that type of information, to get that type of set up the background, it was amazing because we started using LCD screens just a few years back and they made the movies, so many years ago, and still they were having all of that technology like LCD screens, all the computers, the way the spacecrafts were designed, the way they would go on mission. So I hope you have understood why you don't have much memory, or why you feel lost, or why you feel lonely sometimes, why you feel like there's nobody else around who you can reach out to, talk to. Well, obviously there are more people like you, and I say this, you guys should say this as a decree, that I reclaim all the stolen, all the lost parts, or all the parts that I gave up via manipulation to others, or I just in my ignorance gave it away. So I reclaim all those parts of my soul and I reclaim it right now, right now, right now. So on that note, I would be ending this amazing fun vlog that we did on Starseeds. I would be doing more of these vlogs on Starseeds because there is a lot of information And unfortunately, when you look up for this information online, you don't find much. That's why I even took the reference of Wikipedia, because it was kind of close to. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to be saying adios to you here, and I will be back with more amazing content on starseeds, on twin flames, different types of mind disorders, as I mentioned, NPDs, bipolar, multiple personality, split personality, borderline narcissism, borderline bipolars, so on and so forth. So one love and peace out.